Good morning and welcome to Solving Rational Equations, otherwise known as cross-multiplying type 1. So the first equation that we have is 18 over x, and that equals 6 over 2. But we need to be able to cross-multiply these numbers. So let's do that. If we take 18 and we cross-multiply it with the 2, and we take the x and we cross-multiply it with the 6. So that means that I'm going to have 18 times 2. And that has to equal 6x. Well, if you look at 18 times 2, that gives you 36. And 6x just gives us 6x. Now we need to get the x by itself. What do we do next? We divide both sides by 6. And 36 divided by 6 gives us 6. So we know that our x value is 6. Don't be led astray that there are two answer boxes in IXL. This particular question only has one answer. Let's look at another description. Here we have 2 over x plus 3 equals 4 over x minus 2. Again, we need to cross multiply. So we can multiply those parts together and multiply those parts together. So I'm taking 2 times x minus 2. And that's equal to 4 times x plus 3. I'm rewriting this because I want to make sure that I don't have any fractions left if I can at all help it. So if I look at that next, I'm going to do the distributive property. So we're going to take those parts and multiply them together. That will give us 2x. Then we're going to multiply these parts together. That will give us minus 4. And that's going to equal these parts multiplied together, which will give us 4x. And then these parts multiplied together, which will give us plus 12. Now, like we have always done with combining like terms, we need to be able to solve for a variable here. So we want to get all the x's on one side. And I'm just going to put them on the left because it makes it easier for me. So I'm going to subtract 4x because it was a positive 4x, but in order to move it to the other side, I need to change its sign. So when I look at that, I now have a negative 2x minus 4 equals 12. Because you have to bring down this part. Now I need to get this part onto the other side. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides because I'm doing the opposite of what's there. So now I have, and I'm going to write it over here so I have a little more space, a negative 2x. Now if I look at the 12 plus the 4, that'll give me 16. And in order to solve for x, what do I do next? I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. So here, 16 divided by negative 2 gives me a negative 8. Again, don't be led astray by the fact that there are two answer boxes. This particular equation only has one answer. Let's look at our next example. Here we have a negative 3 p minus 7 equal to 3 equal to p plus 1. So what we want to do is, again, cross multiply. So I'm going to take the negative 3 times p plus 1. Remember, I'm rewriting this because I want to have everything without a fraction. Then I have 3 equal to multiply by p minus 7. Again, what's the next step? Distributive property. We're going to multiply these parts together. Negative 3p. We're going to multiply these parts together. Negative 3. And that's going to equal these parts multiplied together, 3p. And these parts multiplied together, which gives us a negative 29. Now again, I want to get all the letters on one side, all the not letters on the other. So I'm going to do the opposite of what was here. So I'm going to subtract 3p from both sides. So now I have a negative 6p minus 3 is equal to a negative 21. Now I need to get this number that doesn't have a letter over to the other side, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So here I'm going to get a negative 6p. If I have a negative 21 plus 3, that's going to give me a negative 18. And again, I want to get the letter by itself, so what are you going to do next? We're going to divide by the number that's out in front of the letter, in this case a negative 6. So now we know that p is equal to 3. Again, don't be led astray by the fact that there are two answer boxes. You only have one answer for this question. And that is the end of type 1.